Well, welcome back. Joe Biden, a Democrat, is looking to meddle in the free space market to, I guess, increase competition. I don't know. So let's bring in our panel. Erin Elmore is the executive director of USA Strong, also a Turning Point USA contributor.
Word in there about competition for that. And instead, we want to go after Amazon, which is one of the most efficiently run companies on the planet.
Right, exactly. I mean, they literally succeeded because I disagree with Jeff Bezos politically on a lot of things, but he ran a phenomenal company. So, Erin, do you really want to put the same government that's in charge of the DMV in charge of private business competition?
Right. Anything that the government touches turns to awful. Have you been to a post office? You have talked to veterans who have had to go to the VA hospitals. Amtrak is run by the government. All of those things are run horribly because government employees don't want to work long hours and work overtime unless they're getting paid astronomical rates. If you do things that are funded by the government, then there are pensions that come out of our pockets. Honestly, I like President Trump's idea of letting the private sector and free markets dictate. That's how a real democracy runs. That's how capitalism actually flourishes here in America. Moreover, all we've seen Joe Biden and his cronies do is throw money that we don't have at the American people and attempt to placate them and win and purchase their vote. Now we have inflation, sky-high gas prices, shortages of goods. So no, to answer your question in a very long-winded way, Carl, I don't think that this is a good idea.
Yes, and you know what, I apologize, but there was supposed to be another topic that we were going to cover. But this is, John, I'm super pumped about the fact that, everybody wants to have private industry do better. Okay, great. But like Erin was just saying, throwing money at stuff doesn't make it better. Joe,
obviously, it's another attempt to monopolize or oligopolize the economy.
Right. And Erin, this is like something that gives me a migraine. It's every single time the government has loosened regulation, every single time, without fail, the private sector has boomed. So why in the world would they bring together a bunch of bureaucrats, mind you, some are some private guys, but a bunch of bureaucrats to figure out how they can better regulate-ish the private sector to do better? I mean, no? Yes? What do you think?
It sounds extremely counterintuitive, Carl. And by the way, if John can get my mom to go to the store and buy a hearing aid, I would be absolutely thrilled. But that's a whole other conversation for another day. The government needs fewer regulations, not more. And under President Trump, we saw a lot of deregulation, which allowed businesses to operate more efficiently and effectively. It allowed people in the private sector to make more money naturally and organically using their skill sets and things of that nature. The government, when they step in and create layers of regulation, all it is doing is creating more government jobs to manage those licenses and businesses and operations, because that isn't really helping the private sector. It's building bigger government.
Right.
And that's not what we need here in America. I like the live and let live philosophy here. Let businesses do their thing. Let the government do its thing. Neither the twain shall meet. Let's allow private businesses to flourish, especially in this difficult economy that they created with all of the shutdowns. And now with the Delta variant, I'm very worried about how these left-leaning cities are going to handle such a manufactured situation. So honestly, I agree with you, Carl, 1,000%. Deregulation is the key. Government should stay out of the private sector.
Yeah, so now that we've covered Joe Biden making private business more gooder, John, I want to talk to you about Toyota. It says that it's not going to donate to Republican lawmakers who refuse to certify Joe Biden's win. Okay, so Toyota, I think they're the latest company to do this over the last 6 months. Ethical ground, legal ground. I mean, is it a good move publicly? What do you think, John?
That are pretty problematical. So this only works in one direction, and it works to take away money from conservative candidates and basically deny them the ability to communicate with the public.
Erin, what do you say?
We've seen this get woke, go broke thing happening a lot across America. When Gillette stopped their The Best a Man Can Get campaign, their razor sales tanked. The NFL and the NBA that are taking a knee. No one is watching anymore. The Olympics, I bet you right now, we are going to see these ratings in the toilet. So you know what, Toyota? Go ahead. I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to give this, let's call it 12 months, and see how your car sales are if you really keep this up. Get woke, go broke.
Yeah, well, I drive a Ford because it's American and they didn't take a bailout and they're not a foreign car. So, Erin Elmore, John Fund, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Enjoy your Saturday.
All right, coming up.